Go ahead, sir.
Hi, my name's David Koutsogiane. I'm a retired Newport teacher. Previously, for 10 years, I was a correctional officer, and I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you, and especially those who've sponsored bills, Representative O'Brien and Rep. Serpa, and my great representative, Carol Hagan-McAtee. I'm here to speak. Well, I also wanted to thank you for allowing me. In 2024, you helped me pass a bill that I was able to merge my corrections time of nearly 10 years with my teacher time. So I didn't gain anything extra. I ended up with 35 years, very rewarding years. But it ended up passing unanimously on both sides. I was pleasantly surprised. But that's what it was prior to the changes in 2011. I was able to merge my time, and then and, you know, a consequence of the changes of 2011. That's what happened, but it's all been rectified, and I want to thank you again. So I'm here to speak in support of pension bills 7160, 7390, and 7683, the teacher survivor benefit, and also the bill for the retirees that retired prior to 2024 to go to a retro calculation from 5 years to 3 years, because I think that would be fair to them. People are working longer and harder to get to a decent benefit, and I'm presently substituting now in 3 different districts, and it's been wonderful. I've seen a lot, especially in the career and tech centers. They're phenomenal if you get a chance to go into them. But what really hurt me was when those, you know, it was like an avalanche, those pension changes back in 2011. And I don't think everyone knew about the repercussions down the road, you know, even what we were speaking to, you know, reamortization or something less draconian. I spoke to a lobbyist for the League of School Committees in the hallway down here on a hot spring day back when they were doing the pension changes, and I said, these teachers, they're going to die. I said, a lot of them are not going to get a cost of living adjustment. I said, they're not even going to make it. Some of these teachers, they're not even going to make it into their 60s. I said, it's crazy. He says, and he looked me dead in the eye, and he says, well, he says, maybe that's what'll happen. He says, you know, that's, you know, then we'll pay less people at top step. I couldn't believe it. I was like shaking, I was incredulous. But that was then. So teachers are leaving. I mean, I talked to many teachers during the week. I sub about 3 to 4 days. Occasionally I'll take a long-term stint. And some of our teachers are going to Massachusetts. I was president of the Newport teachers for 4.5 years, and then I was vice president for another 4, and I was a very, very, very proud. I'm a proud moderate. And I always found middle ground with the school committees and the superintendents. It was actually a joy to do the job. I enjoyed fixing things, but there's some middle ground on all of these pension bills that you have. I know you'll have a lot of numbers in front of you, and I'm hoping with due diligence that you can look at it and make a fair decision, especially for the teachers, as my colleague Ryan Canisette was speaking about, and Mary worked with me in Newport. Prior to 2012, the ones that didn't have 20 years vested, they don't have the time to make it up, you know, with the TIAA CREF. So as I said, some of the teachers in Newport have left. They went to Fall River and New Bedford, you know, and they're going to make out better just getting a partial Rhode Island pension and then a Massachusetts pension, and retire at a younger age. The bill that other bill that I wanted to speak about was, so the rule of 85, the rule of 90, obviously, and 7683 from Rep. McAtee. The excuse that I heard back with the pension reform in 2011 was, well, it's underfunded. Okay, so I'm not arguing, things definitely had to be done. There were a lot of sins of the past. But the teacher survivor benefit, especially for the districts that weren't paying into Social Security, that is over 200% overfunded. So as someone said earlier, I think it was my friend Alex Lucini, that's a no-brainer. You can certainly increase that, a certain amount. Where that number is, that's for you to decide. But I definitely think that the teacher survivor benefit can be enhanced. In terms of bills for the past retirees, I've heard a lot tonight, and I feel terrible for some of the people who have passed away without receiving a decent COLA. The number was 85, back then, and then they reduced it to 75. I don't know what the numbers are. There have been many studies. The pension committee did a study. When Treasurer Diosa comes here and gives you his numbers and the numbers that he has from his studies, and if it gets to 75% or thereabouts, then I'll believe the numbers when he testifies in front of this committee. Until then, I don't know what the numbers are. That we need further research. So in closing, I'm hoping you support the bills that I spoke to, and I'll certainly take any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your testimony. I don't believe there's any questions, sir. Thank you.